Fuck yeah. Perfect. Got it?
That's dope.
You can feel free to cut this if you want, but I have an insane story about art.
Okay, let's hear it.
We were going.
Why would I cut it?
Me and my business partners were going to buy a really good client a very expensive piece of art as a thank you, right?
Okay.
Spend six figures on it. We're thinking anywhere from $100,000 to $250,000 on a piece of art for a client.
Whoa.
Yes, it was going to be a great gift. And a friend of ours had introduced us to this artist that we knew that client
Retina.
collects. It was.
Retina.
Have you heard this story?
No, but I think I know. I just knew where this was going,
Okay.
but I haven't
Wow.
heard the story.
Okay. So he agrees to meet with us at his studio one night, right?
Retina did, yeah.
Yeah. And it's me and my three business partners, and we go in there. And he comes in, he's holding a bottle of alcohol, and he's in one hand and a machete in another hand,
Spectacular.
right? Asks us to sit down and says, hey, you guys want to drink with me? And I'm like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
And I grab the bottle and I drink with him. And we start passing around, and one of the business partners doesn't.
Doesn't drink.
Didn't want to drink.
And
He wasn't in his
refuses.
drink.
Got it.
Yeah, and that offended Marquise.
He goes, what
Right.
the hell?
And he was like giving us shit. We didn't know how to read the situation. Is this guy being real? Is this his thing? Right.
Yeah.
And then through he had like 4 different warehouses that he brought us to.
Okay.
right? And we were going through, and like you're seeing all these super famous pieces that like he's a collector of too.
He's
The
got
night,
Other artists, right? No.
other artists, right?
He's got
like
some
Jasper
Warhols.
John
Yeah.
stuff and like insane things that like Hockneys and stuff. And I'm just appreciating it and like happy to like be in the space. But then he like brings us to a back room where we start negotiating. He locks the door.
Okay.
And then I'm like, what is that smell that I'm smelling? And I thought he was like lighting a joint, but he's
Taking a dump.
he's smoking some other like it was
Okay.
either crack or heroin
Got it.
or some other thing, right? And we're locked in
Amazing.
this room, and we're also trying to negotiate the deal for this gift that we want to impress
Sure.
somebody else with. We're also shooting a music video down the street from his warehouse,
Okay.
right? So my wife was so mad at me for all this. There's a lot of things that are happening that he's like yelling at us, and it's like this like kind of like up and down. All was cool with me, right?
Yeah.
But like, don't step on that, don't touch that, don't do this, like that. Just constant like up and down, like I don't know, emotionally controlling the situation.
Sure.
He's like, oh, I fuck with you guys. I want to go see your music. Turns out he started in music videos, and he knew a lot of the people that we work with and stuff like that. And we were shooting one down the street. And we're like, okay, come on one of our sets. There's a celebrity there. Yada
Sure.
yada yada. So this is after the crack and after the drinking. He's like, one of you guys have to ride with me.
Oh, God.
In his Bentley.
Oh, God.
I'm in the car with him, not caring about traffic signs or lights and stuff like that. Even pulls up to police officers, bumping Snoop Dogg the loudest possible.
Shut the
They
fuck
didn't
up.
do anything to him because he's in this Bentley.
Yeah.
And we pull up to the set, comes, watches, like, oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. I remember you guys are doing great work. Okay, yeah, I want to do a deal with you guys. I want to go back, right? Goes back to his other warehouse place where there's Banksy's on the wall and stuff like that. And
Okay.
like insane things. And all his art, which I think is stunning.
It's great.
And he explained what his art means, and it's all hieroglyphs and
Yeah.
characters that he's created and stuff like that. He's like, you guys want to paint a painting with me? So he starts painting a painting with us, with one of my business partners, right? And he starts drawing. He's like, no, not like that. Like starts taking over, and it starts taking shape, and it looks stunning, whatever.
Okay.
And at the end of it, takes paint thinner, throws it on it. It's like, no, you can't have that. Like it's constantly like. Then he goes into like, are you
Love
guys?
it.
Are you guys doing this as a tax write-off? How are you trying to like? He goes into that business mindset
Yeah.
of like, what are you trying to get out of this? Like, are you trying to like launder money? Are you trying to do these things? You know, I can make $500,000 in 30 minutes if I wanted to just by painting these things and stuff like that. And this is like 4 or 5 hours of us dealing with this, him drinking, doing
Yeah.
drugs. There's other parts of the story that I'm like leaving out.
Typical Ratna.
And it's just like a fascinating, like, what is going on? And like all these things that's like, this is one of the most successful artists right now who can sell paintings for hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
if not millions of dollars. And I'm learning all these things about the art industry and like also gang related things like money laundering and like things that like, is it true? Is it not true? I don't know what to believe. It made me rethink about the entire art world, right? And at the end of the night, he was just like upset with everybody else who's negotiating with him. He's like, "Oh, you guys aren't real. Screw you, screw you, screw you." And he's like, "I love you, bro." And he gave me a hug and we left, right? And then we were like, "Oh, that was such a weird experience." We all walked away and we like had a double take. We're all constant, like, you know how you're energized because you just went through this experience. You're just talking to the people who
Sure.
were with you during those moments. And that, like, that energy like was like, oh my gosh. So we were like, oh, well, we didn't get the painting for the client. We didn't do whatever, right? What should we get this guy? A few days go by. The guy calls. He's like, guys, I want to thank you so much for the retina you got me. Retina gave him a painting on our behalf
What?
after that whole situation.
That's a crazy story.
It's an insane story.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That guy is the real deal. I'm such a Retina fan.
I like what he like, and it is part of like maybe his aura, like he's living his life,
Right.
and that's what might be
He
art.
didn't like how, one time how he had a client that bought one of his pieces for a fortune
Mhm.
and hung it next to something that had a similar color tone and shape. And he threw a fit and was like, "I'll kill you."
Yeah,
Like,
He's treated some female friends very, very.
yeah. I didn't get into that part.
I
of
don't know
the
that. I don't know about that. That sounds terrible. But he also when I painted a Ferrari for Art Basel,
Mhm.
they offered Retina the job before me, and he said supposedly he turned it down. And I saw him at the Peterson Museum, and I go, "Dude, I just got back from Art Basel, and one of the best gigs which I think I crushed, is I painted this Ferrari live, and it was awesome." And I go, "In some ways, you didn't take that gig, and I'm psyched about it because it's like one of my favorite gigs I've ever had." And he goes, "Dude, I don't even know what you're talking." He's like, "Wait, those," and he all of a sudden I realized that he was real pissed at whoever had talked to him about that gig and was and like maybe he told, I don't know what. I was like,
Or
all of a
like,
sudden I
don't
was
tell
like,
people I turned this down. Don't even bring my name up. It's like,
he's furious
yeah.
out of the blue, and I was like, "Yeah, whatever."
I was happy that he liked me, and then he came through at the end. It was just such a
That's
crazy.
amazing.
It's just such a crazy. There's a lot more to this story, and it's such a crazy
Who's
experience.
the client? Can you say who the client is?
Nah, I don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll tell you.
Does it
off-
rhyme with Bobby?
Oh no.
It's not Kobe. Okay.
No.
All right.
But it was just like a crazy unique experience that bonded, us in the business. But like, that's a crazy story. But at the same time, it made me rethink about the art world and how like this is one of the most successful people from like a respect aspect and a collecting aspect. And he was enlightening me on like all the different ways people like can screw with the art world
Yeah,
for tax
he's been
evasion
screwed.
and stuff like that. And it's like, but is this what the people want? They want him to be like this too?
I think they do. Yeah.
And like, oh, I had a meeting with him. And
Everyone's got a
it was
great Retina story.
yeah. So
Everybody.
it's just like the industry of being a fine artist. Like Home Dude the Yale guy had a different experience. You have a different experience. Like,
You want to know something interesting is that I had a tremendous amount of success when I was taking a decent amount of drugs and really kind of, it's not like I was in drugs all the time, but I have always had like a big personality.
Hmm.
And then when I was really trying to build an art career and an art collection and everything, it just involved a lot of like long hours that sometimes I take Adderall or drink, do different things. And so, and when people would come over to my studio, you could kind of feel that energy. And I think that I would tell myself, and I would tell myself that that was part of what people wanted, that they wanted a real character involved in the art. And I think they do.
Yeah.
I don't think it required alcohol or drugs. I think I'm already kind of the size of a character anyone would want. But it was something that I really could feel that nobody wanted. Everyone wants a story about the artist and a story. People are buying the artist as much as they are the art. And all the successful artists I know have, it's like there's the artist and there's the art. I can't think of that many just.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like combined, right? The physical end of the piece, the artist who did it, then the technique, right? At least that's how like I judge things, right?
Yeah.
What was that person going through? What are they trying to symbolize with this? How did they do it? Is it something that nobody else has done? What did it take them to get to that point? I think those are all factors on like why I personally like art.
Totally.